Which blessing is to be recited first, Shehechiyanu or the blessing over the fruit? So whenever we have a new fruit in front of us, which requires the blessing of Shehechiyanu, many people are confused regarding which blessing is said first. Do I first say Shehechiyanu first, or first say the bracha of ha'etz or adama on the fruit? On the one hand, one can argue Shehechiyanu should be said first, as it's a hefsek to say Shehechiyanu between the bracha of the food and eating the food. On the other hand, one can argue, we all know that by birchas hamitzvahs you always say Shehechiyanu after the bracha. Whether it's reading Megillah or blowing shofar, shaking lulav, Shehechiyanu is always said second. So to here, Shehechiyanu should be said after the bracha of the fruit. So what is the halacha? What does it say in the Pais? So various Paiskim over the last 400 years have discussed this issue and discussed the sides of saying Shehechiyanu before or after the blessing. Some of these Paiskim conclude that Shehechiyanu should be said before the bracha of the food in order not to form a hefsek, as well as because in truth Shehechiyanu is only a reshus, a voluntary blessing, and therefore cannot be said between an obligatory blessing and the eating, as opposed to Shehechiyanu v'mitzvah, which is obligatory, and other reasons have been suggested as well. Other Paiskim, however, say no, that Shehechiyanu should be said after the blessing of the food, after her eitz or adama, just like we do by mitzvahs. And many of these Paiskim testify that so is the widespread custom of the world to always first say the bracha of adama or her eitz, and only then say the bracha of Shehechiyanu. Practically, the Alter Rebbe rules in Seder Birchas Hanenin, chapter 11, halacha 12, as well as in his Shulchanaruch, chapter 22, halacha 1, regarding a talis, that one first says the bracha of Shehechiyanu and only afterwards the bracha over the fruit or vegetable of Adam or ha'etz. And practically this is the ruling for Chabad Chassidim who follow the rulings of the Alter Rebbe to always say Shehechiyanu first and only then the blessing of the food. Like the Alter Rebbe, so also rules the Yosef Eimitz, the Pri Megadim, the Maimer Mordechai, the Ksenis Yosef, the Eish Lavram Abutshach, the Chaya Adam, the Shulchanaruchharav, the Aruch HaShulchan. This was also the custom of Nasan Adler and the Chasam Sofer, the Ksaf Sofer, the Das Sofer, the Kitzur Shulchanaruch, the Mishnah Brura, and the Ktseis HaShulchan, and other Paiskim all rule the first say Shehechiyanu and then the blessing over the fruit. Other Paiskim, however, rule to first say the blessing of the fruit and then Shehechiyanu, as we said before, and so is the Svardi Minhag to always say the blessing of the fruit and only then Shehechiyanu, and so rules the Halachas Ktanis, the Berhetiv, Ishayim on the Torah, the Chida, and Yosef Eimitz, and Machzik Bracha, the Pri Adama, Yefei Lelev, Maisarav of the Gra, Siddur Derech HaChaim, the Eish Lavram of Butchach in 600, Chasam Sofer rules that this what should be, even though he himself isn't accustomed this way. So is the Avni Nezer. The Steichem, the Aruch HaShulchan says that so is the custom, even though he concludes differently. So is the Birchas Habayis, and so concludes the Kaf HaChaim, that so is the Minhag HaOlam. And so writes Ravad Yosef in Yechav Das 3:15 that so is the custom for the Sfardim. So bottom line is as follows. Siddim, who follow the rulings of the Alter Rebbe, always first say Shehechiyanu first. Sfardim, who follow the rulings of their Paiskim, always say first the blessing over the fruit. Other sects of Jewry should follow their Paisik, or their minhag of their Kehillah, and as we already said, Mishnah Brura, which is widely followed today amongst world Jewry of Ashkenazim, holds like the Alter Rebbe to first say the blessing of Shehechiyanu. Even according to this approach that we first say the blessing of Shehechiyanu, in the event that one forgot and already said the blessing of Eitz Adama on the fruit, he may still recite Shehechiyanu afterwards prior to eating the fruit, and it is not considered a hefsek. As we already learned, many Paiskim say even the Chatchila this should be done, and as well this blessing is relevant to the fruit, so it's not considered a hefsek. So is the Pri Megadim, the Mishnah Brura, the Kseis HaShulchan, and the Kutei Maharich. As we already stated, the above is only regarding Birchas HaPeiros. When it comes to Birchas HaMitzvahs, Asher Kedeshanu, such as Shofar, Lulav, etc., then Shehechiyanu is always said after the blessing.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.